Should you be buying the US dollar? Let's take a look together after today's NFP report to see if there's some great trading setups for the US dollar pairs going into the rest of the day and going into next week. So a quick look at the numbers tells us that we had a really solid jobs numbers here for the US here in July of 2022. We had really good numbers. We had 372,000 jobs created compared to the 260 that were forecasted. At the same time, we had a remainder at unemployment unchanged at 3.6%. Those things look pretty solid, and in fact, that should give the Fed a little bit of confidence in terms of jobs being such an important indicator in terms of economic health. So with that said, for Forex traders, what are we looking at with the US dollar, and is it time to bet on the greenback? Let's take a look and see what we can find. So a quick look at the US dollar reveals that on the news, we actually saw a spike to the upside. Followed by that, though, we got a lot of rejection. And the question is that an early sign that we're going to completely reverse from here and start fading? Well, maybe, but my personal opinion is that pullbacks off of this are a buy. I would have been bullish, or I was bullish on the dollar leading up to this event, but now with job numbers coming back even better than expected, the US dollar looks strong, and I'll show you where I'm looking at potentially getting long on the dollar. So again, we had a big pop to the upside. If we draw some fibs here, there may be an opportunity to try and get long on the dollar either today on Friday or perhaps going into next week. Should we start to see a retracement back down to the bottom of this area around 106.65? Yes, this market has extended quite far, but again, it's for good reason, and the dollar remains king of the Forex market right now, being very, very strong compared to a lot of the other currency pairs. So let's look at some individuals. Let's look at GBP USD, one of the pairs that I personally think has some nice opportunity to the downside. You can see very quickly from a technical analysis perspective that this chart looks pretty solid for sells. In my personal opinion, as we pop up into these regions here, there could be nice opportunities to take shorts and get some nice premium on this pair, with the idea being, well, we could extend back down to the lows here, but perhaps even to the previous swing low there. So for example, let's say that we got the entry. Let's say that price trails its way up into this area, and then we have an opportunity to potentially short pound dollar around 1.2039, let's call it. I think you have some decent risk reward in terms of where we could go from here. Even just this trade is a 1.6 to 1, but if we were to see a move back down to the previous low, there could be a nice 2.5 to 1 risk reward opportunity looking at GBP USD. So as we trail higher, yeah, I kind of like that for some more downside on the currency pair. Now, I wanted to show you guys something here while I discuss the pound USD specifically. The pound dollar, if we take a look at our smart money tracker here on the EdgeFinder, this is going to tell us what big money and institutional positions are looking like. And let me show you this really quick. If we scroll to the top, what we can see is that the top 5 rated long currencies or commodities or markets here, US dollar takes the lead as #1 heavily bought currency in the institutional positions. This is the commitment of traders data. This is something that we get weekly to tell us what big money on the futures market is doing. And right now we have a lot of bias to the upside on the US dollar. And at the very same time, let's go zoom in over here and take a look at the GBP, which has a 71.5% short rate, which means that a large number of the contracts on the futures market being traded by institutional traders are being shorted for the GBP currency. Okay, so the pound is short, the dollar is long. That gives us extra positive bias towards going short on something like GBP USD. We track here at A1 Trading, we track heavily what institutional money is doing, and this is our smart money tracker. It is available on the A1 EdgeFinder. If you would like access to the EdgeFinder for a super discounted rate, there will be a link down below in the description. Sign up using that link, punch in the promo code at checkout, and you'll get a huge discount on our software tool if you would like to get it. Or if you would like to try it out, what we'll do is we'll leave a pinned comment down below in the chat section or in the comment section to send a message to one of our team members and try it out free for the day. If you'd like that, again, click the link that is being shared in the pinned comment section down below. All right, so back to the charts. Again, I do like pound USD short, but there's maybe some other things that we could pay attention to going into the news. If we go back to the EdgeFinder for a second, we take a look at the score chart summary, we have some topping up things regarding the dollar, like USD CAD. And USD CAD, a lot of people had questions about this on the news when I was live streaming during this. We had dollar CAD pop initially, and then now it's doing all sorts of craziness. Dollar CAD, to me, I think, is still bullish until further notice. So if price does retest retest an area like this previous low, again, it was really bullish here prior to the news. So again, if it retests with really strong numbers, I would want it there for potentially long-sided action, especially with the oil market being a little bit under pressure recently. That could set to continue, which could bring CAD down, which could actually cause dollar CAD to appreciate. So a nice little retest could be of interest. Again, we have this nice big pull flag pattern kind of going on right around the 50% to the 61.8. Somewhere in this region to me looks positive for USD CAD long opportunities. That's my personal opinion. We'll see if we can get that today. If that pops to the downside there may be a chance to try and jump in on some of that action. And again, the ultimate idea would be to see if we could trade that beyond the previous level of resistance. So we did get a lot of rejection up here at 1.3070. So we had a lot of rejection here and here. So if we do start to see this thing come down into support, we'll watch to see if we can get, if that reacts well, the ultimate sort of prize would be to see if we could break, retest, and continue. When I take trades, I like to trail stops. So when I trade something, my intention is not just to trade it back to the previous high, but to see if we can actually break out, which I think if we're trending should be within reasonable expectations. This thing looks like it's contracting to the upside, looks pretty solid, and a retest buy here could lead to a nice break and retest on the higher time frames on USD CAD. So that's trade idea number 2. Another one that I really like is actually USD CHF on the long side. Now, I was actually long on a Swiss pair earlier. I made just a little tiny bit of money before getting stopped out for profit there on CAD Swiss, but on dollar Swiss, I like this one just as much, especially with really strong jobs numbers today. A retest buy on this one could actually be really nice. And if you're looking intraday, maybe there's something like this, but from a higher time frame perspective, looking at where we broke out of, we had this big break to the upside here. So what was resistance turned into support. We also had this major spot breakout and retest. So possibly if this thing does decide to double back and retest these areas, there could be some nice buying opportunities to continue to trade the dollar long until further notice. Again, we are not looking to fade this move. We are looking to go with the flow until we are told not to by the markets. So that's where we're at with it. If you're looking at dollar Swiss, again, long side looks pretty good, but we need that retest buy in my personal opinion. And finally, we'll discuss gold here for a second for the gold traders. I discussed this for a long time on the stream today. My idea here was with this consolidation phase, we need to see gold break one way or the other. There was a massive sell-off on gold recently, and since then things have just been chopping between the 1748 zone and the 1734 zone. Until we get a break and close on the hourly or 4-hourly candle, we really don't have anything. If this thing starts to break and shows signs of reversal and you're bullish, maybe there's something there. And conversely, if this thing does actually break through the lows, then perhaps there's something there. If you're a range-bound trader, this one looks pretty good for range-bound for the time being, but until further notice, we're waiting for a breakout either direction. There's your update on gold. If you enjoy my videos, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel for more content like this, and we'll see you back next time. See ya. Looks like it's time for your next trading video. Check out the videos here and here for more free trading content that should help you in your trading journey. We try and keep it real here, so make sure to subscribe for more content that is down to earth, realistic Forex trading content. See you in the next video.